All right, folks. Let's see what's going on today in the markets. We got Bitcoin coming in at 22,882. I personally think, like I said yesterday, I think we're due for a little bit of a pullback here. Um, I wouldn't be buying anything right now. That's just me. I could be wrong. I already have plenty of crypto, but I feel like we need to have a nice $1,000 dump on Bitcoin to consolidate a little bit. But hey, that's just my opinion, and we could go up to $25,000 tomorrow, but I just think we need to at least cool off for a little bit. All your favorite altcoins are hanging out. We got Cardano at almost 38 cents. I'm telling you folks, Cardano wants 40 cents, and once Cardano breaks that 40-cent mark, it is off to the races with Cardano. And we have Mr. Theta still hanging out at $1.06, not too shabby. I'd be probably looking to buy some more Theta at under $1, which is what I've been doing for the last year. Anyway, so Gareth Soloway was on Crypto Banter. You guys know, not a fan of Crypto Banter, but occasionally he does have good guests. And if he has a good guest, I'm going to watch Crypto Banter. Let's see what Gareth Soloway has to say about the markets. Now, I've been a big follower of Gareth Soloway for years. He called the market top at 68,000. He basically told everybody we were going down to 12,000 at that point, and he's been really right so far. He's an excellent trader. But a buddy of mine, who I've been telling a buddy of mine this because he's been following Gareth Soloway to a T. He's even a member of Gareth Soloway's little weekly or daily trading course, which is like $200 a month or something like that. I told him eventually Gareth Soloway is going to be wrong. And Gareth Soloway's $12,000 Bitcoin prediction does not have to happen. And you don't want to have all your money out of the market waiting for that $12,000. Because if Gareth Soloway really could nail the markets that great, he'd be living on some island somewhere with, like, you know, senoritas serving him margaritas all day. Not to mention, I have been following Gareth Soloway's trading. He is very good, but he did tell people to buy Luna. And he traded Luna all the way to zero. And actually, a buddy of mine lost thousands of dollars doing that. So these traders aren't always right. That's why I always say just buy after a 70% dump in Bitcoin and basically just hold to the next Bitcoin halving or next bull market. But it sounds like Gareth Soloway is still overall bearish in the market. He kind of thinks this is a dead cat bounce. And unless we basically hold over 25,000, he's expecting lower prices. Let's just take a quick listen here.
Crypto, Bitcoin here, you came up to the FTX pre-high right here. You consolidated, then you broke out. You're now consolidating again. As long as this pattern continues, there's upside to 25,000 in the near term. Having said that, that's still a powerful low pivot here and a high pivot of this. And for me, at least, when I zoom out on the chart, I would still be in the camp that we're still in a bear market in crypto until we see something else. So again, 25K would be a very pivotal level. That's where I've said I would start shorting Bitcoin if it gets up there. With my members, I have a long on Bitcoin. We're still holding. That would be where I would exit that and flip it into a short.
When would you become a bull? At what level here would you say, you know what, if it gets there, then I'm becoming bullish?
So to me, a major level would be this one. And if you look over here where the bull market really took off in 2021 and we had the M top here, this area right here is going to be unbelievably important right here. So to me, kind of it's right around the 30,000 level. We start trading above the 30,000 level, then you can't deny that we've now entered into this kind of this area where we had that M top back in 2021. We've gotten back above these lows here, which was that little midpoint. That would be where I would say, okay, now to me, at least the charts are telling me that this could be a low down here that's a lasting low.
What's your bear case for Bitcoin? Are you still looking at a 12,000? Is that still on the cards?
Yeah. So the bear case until proven otherwise, according to the charts, is still that you're still looking at 12 to 13,000 as your next downside, with a worst case kind of in that 9 to 10,000 range.
Yeah, so Gareth Soloway is still basically holding true that he thinks we're probably going to go down to $12,000 unless we can go above $30,000 and hold there. So I don't know, folks. You know, like I said, I have a buddy of mine who I work with who's been basically following Gareth Soloway to a T, and he's basically out of the market, basically waiting for 12,000, doing a little bit of trades here and there. But I just know, folks, like there's no guarantee we're going to get that $12,000. And the higher we go, I mean, for Bitcoin to drop from 23,000 or 25,000 down to 12,000, I'm trying to think like what would have to happen in the world for that to happen. I mean, that's almost like a Binance goes under or a Coinbase goes under. I'm just not seeing it. Could we retest the lows of 15, 16,000? Yeah, absolutely. But down to 12, I mean, I even agree with BitBoy on this one. Like, he was even saying this. I'm just like, I mean, I'm talking, yeah, World War III, Putin sending nukes, but you're talking like a major dump. There'd have to be something just like horrendous that happens, and that could happen. But the higher we go, the less opportunity for that to happen. So that's why I've been encouraging my people who follow my channel, like, you got, once Bitcoin dumps 60, 70%, you got to be basically getting into the market. Once these altcoins drop 90%, that's why once Cardano went under 60 cents or 70 cents, I was basically putting lots of money in, because you just don't know what that bottom's going to be. So love Gareth. He's had some very good calls. He's rational, but I don't think we're going down to $12,000. That's just my opinion. We could. And if we do go down to 12,000, God help us, because what the hell is going on in the market if that does happen? Okay, a little bit of Sam Bankman-Fried news. I haven't talked about him in a while, but it turns out he had a $3.28 million house in D.C. Apparently, the Fed seized it as part of his bankruptcy and his case. Oh, that house kind of looks like my house, although my house is like worth like a couple $100,000, and his house, that shows you how expensive DC is. Man, I live near DC. I live outside of Baltimore, and not in Baltimore City though. I would never live in that shithole. But DC, man, look how much they're charging for a freaking townhouse. This is like a $300,000-$400,000 house in most of the world. Like out down south, this is like a $100,000 house or $150,000 house. What a ripoff! Liberal shithole, DC. You know, I used to be a licensed private investigator in DC. I'm going to go off on a rant. Dealing with the government was like hell. Dealing with just the people in DC. Dealing with the bureaucracy. Dealing with the crime. I saw people get shot in DC as a PI. I'd rather be in the worst hood of Baltimore than the hoods of DC. They're fucking animals. Fucking animals. But anyway, he bought this house basically so he could wine and dine these politicians. So he really, I would go as far as to say Sam Bankman-Fried was probably or is probably an evil person. You just see what he was up to. Really just the face of evil. Even look at this picture of him, you're just dealing with evil. He's just kind of missing like the horns coming out of his face. So it's going to be fun watching his trial. But yeah, so that property was seized. But he's had properties. That's actually a pretty inexpensive property compared to what the $100 million place or $20 million, whatever, it's $20 million place he had in the Bahamas. All right, a little bit of Cardano news. Cardano price forecast. Can Cardano's up 44% in 30 days. Can Cardano reach $10 this year? Cardano's chart reveals that it has gained plenty of momentum in the past couple of weeks. Its relative strength index has risen over 70 once again, suggesting strong buying pressure that could continue for a while. Don't forget we have that DJED stablecoin coming out this month. Probably they could announce that any day now. And it looks like there's also another upgrade coming in February. The next Cardano upgrade targeted for February will bring new built-in functions to Plutus, the smart contract programming language for the Cardano blockchain, to support ECDSA and whatever the hell that is, cryptograph signatures to make it easier for developers to build cross-chain apps. A lot of this stuff is over my head, but there is an upgrade coming out in February. There's a lot of good stuff coming out for Cardano, folks. As long as Bitcoin stays bullish, you know, I think we're probably going to see a pump up to $1. Can Cardano hit a $10 in 2023? I highly doubt it. $10 to $15 is where I think Cardano could be in 2024 at the top of the next bull market, but $10 is a reach. Could Cardano go back up to all-time highs in 2023 of $3? Absolutely. I'll tell you guys, I'll be honest with you guys, and I'm actually going to get into this story next. I've been talking about it for the last couple months. If Cardano hits $3, I'll probably sell half my Cardano because I'm not convinced that we're going to go completely bullish. Like this might not be a traditional bull market we go into where Cardano and all these altcoins just go up to, you know, Bitcoin goes up to $67,000 and $100,000. Anything can happen in the world, and I'm not going to miss out on some serious gains because we don't stay bullish. You know, I'm going to talk about Michael Burry a little bit. You know, I actually did a YouTube video of this a couple months ago. But he was basically talking about the markets. As you know, Michael Burry's been very, very bearish on the markets with the whole inflation, tobacco, and everything like this. But what Michael Burry is calling for is a second inflation spike. So essentially what he's saying is, yeah, we might go bullish. You know, Bitcoin might go bullish, stocks might go bullish. 2023, like, you know, we could be very, very bullish. Everything could be great. Everybody thinks things are coming around. The Fed is starting to pivot. The Fed isn't raising interest rates anymore. And then all of a sudden, we get a bad report. Boom, bad report. You think it's going to be a good report. Like everybody's like, oh my God, inflation's going to be down so much this month. Report comes out, it's bad. You would see the biggest stock market Bitcoin dump if that happened. And that's basically what he's saying could happen. Like, it's going to basically surprise us. Like, we think inflation's under control. Okay, great. We're out of this. Okay, we're ripping Bitcoin $100,000. Say Bitcoin's at like $65,000 at that point. And Cardano's at $3 or whatever. And then a bad report comes out. Man, these risk assets like Bitcoin, gold, even just tech stocks, really anything, are going to crash so freaking bad. And that could be the big recession dump that a lot of people have been talking about. So that's why for me, I'm going to be really taking profits all the way up this time. I'm going to be taking profits on my Cardano at $2, $3. We make it the $4 profit. Like, I'm not going to just be one of these guys who has like all this money in like Cardano, for example. And I'm like, oh, I'm not selling any of my Cardano until it hits $10. That's the dumbest thing you can do. The dumbest thing, unless you bought it at like at $3 or $4. But I got a lot of Cardano buys, and in 20, 30 cents from years ago that I still held, and a lot from this year. So, at what, 23 cents or whatever, 23 cents I had a big buy, and I bought some at 32. So, I'm really, really skeptical on these markets. We do have the 4-year cycles, which are great, but the way the markets are right now with the Fed, and they're just not going to be able to pump too much money into the economy, it's definitely something that you have to have in the back of your mind, that we could go very, very bullish, but things could change on a dime concerning inflation and interest rates. So this is one of the Michael Burry warnings, and he came out with this a couple months ago, and I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm like, well, he's making a really good point here. So that's why this bull market, I'm going to be taking a lot of profits. Theta, for example. Theta at $5, I'll be taking profits. $7, $8, and all the way up. I'm not going to be like waiting for a $25 Theta to be like taking money out. And, I got some stuff I want to do with my money, and I think how much that would suck if like you buy, for example, Theta at 73 cents. It goes up to like $10, and you're like, oh, I'm waiting for $20. Then we get like bad news. Theta would go from $10 to $2 in a day. Like, that's how bad some of these things can dump. So, it's definitely, this Michael Burry story is something you really need to have in the back of your mind. And I'm going to be talking a lot more about it, especially if we go very bullish, because, if inflation rates look good and the economy is looking good and everything's looking great and the Fed's pivoting, yeah, that's great, but there's no guarantee that's gonna hold. That could change at any moment. So we have to be careful. All right. And before I leave you guys, just looking at the Theta Twitter, or Theta, whatever, there is an update coming out for Theta. They've been rocking and rolling. Man, I love my Theta. I actually wish I had more Theta than I do. It is my biggest bag, but if I could actually go back in time, I'd actually maybe have maybe 25% less Cardano and more Theta, because I think Theta is the ROI is gonna be insane. But anyway, we're excited to share the alpha release of the Theta Edge Store, a crucial part of the 2023 Theta roadmap. Edge Store, a new component of Theta Edge node software run by thousands of users around the globe, is a decentralized storage network for the permanent web. Isn't that freaking awesome? A decentralized storage. Now, this also plays into decentralized video. Of course, I was reading somewhere like with YouTube isn't even profitable. And I'm thinking to myself, how isn't that profitable? Well, they have to spend so much money on storage. YouTube has that big storage, Google, a big storage facility with servers, and it's costing them like millions and millions of dollars like a day to store people's content. And that's why this whole decentralized video, decentralized storage with Theta is so amazing, because as long as you're connected to that node, basically millions and millions of people spread among millions of hard drives and computers, that basically takes that load off, where every computer is contributing to storage, and it makes it completely decentralized where you don't have to worry about a server, you don't have to worry about censorship or anybody controlling it. It really is absolutely incredible. And I think it's the future. The future isn't having some big, room of computers like some, like Google has, where they're paying millions of dollars a month in like fees and just people to run the thing to store all your data. That's not the future. The future is decentralized. And that's why Michelle White Dove, that psychic, was predicting $1,000 Theta. I think it's coming, folks. I would think $1,000 Theta is happening by 2030, but I think before that, we're going to see, I think in the next couple of years, we're going to see $100 Theta. And $100 Theta could even happen the next bull run, 2024, 2025. Because when these coins rip, they rip. But I'm going to keep it conservative, and I'm shooting for a $20, $25 Theta. At that point, I probably would have unloaded 75% of my Theta at that point, and I'll probably keep 25% in my hard wallet just for shits and giggles to see what happens, because you never know. If it dumps down to $1, it dumps down to $1. If it pumps up to $100, that's great. But I'll definitely be selling most of my Theta by the time we get to like, $10, $20. Anyway, folks, one more quick look at the market before I sign off here. Oh, I don't even have it open here. All right, Bitcoin's still coming in at 22,900. Stocks are slightly down today, last time I checked. Yeah, folks, anything can happen at this point. I'm expecting a pullback, like I said yesterday. I want to see I'm thinking maybe like a $21,800 Bitcoin hanging around the $22,000 mark. I think it needs to happen. Doesn't mean it will. Doesn't mean we're not going to rip up to 25,000 tomorrow. But if we do get that pullback to 21,000, I think we're going to consolidate there for a little bit. Then we're going to shoot up to 25,000. I don't see a major dump in Bitcoin happening anytime soon. Unless we get really bad news. Like I said, I don't see that $12,000 Bitcoin happening. I just don't expect it at this point. Could it happen? Yes. Look, sentiment can change at any moment, but the higher Bitcoin goes, the less chance it's going to happen. But there have been bear market rallies in the past. In fact, there always are. I think Bitcoin one time went from like $30,000 or like $25,000 to $40,000, then back down to like 25. Like anything can happen, but people waiting for $12,000 Bitcoin, man, that's going to be rough. There's a chance it might happen. Best of luck to you, but I would not be betting on that one. Okay, Cardano's still at 37. When Cardano hits 40 cents, folks, I think that's what people are waiting for. I think once Cardano breaks 40 cents, it's going to rip it after that. The next level after that's going to be 75 cents, and then once we're back to $1, the rocket ship is basically lifting off. Okay, folks. Thank you for the new subscribers. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.